Can you tell us a little bit about Atul's personality? What was Atul really like in person? What were his passions, his dreams, his everyday struggles, that weren't related to the conflict? Who was Atul?
He was a elder brother for me. He was my ideal. He was my teacher. He was not only my brother, he was a person to whom I can share everything. Whenever I was stuck in anything, the first one to whom I can share my difficulty, he was him. Uh, he was very strong man. I don't know why he committed this thing, but I know him personally that he was a very strong man. He was not only for me an ideal, many of the juniors is trying to become like him. At this age, he achieved every milestone in his career. He was very frank to my father as well. Everything he was discussing with my father about the case related things, about his career, about his all the things that he want to share, he can share with my father because he's very frank. He's very frank to my father. His career is very good. He is in top 25 team of members of worldwide ranked team of members, not only for his company as well as those to whom I talked. Everyone told me that this guy is very good, very calm, very cool. We never thought that this kind of thing is happening with him personally. This was the relation, as well as I can say with the company as well as with the colleagues.
So what is the age difference between you and him? Like, how old was he compared to you?
He was 2 years elder than me.
2 years older. And how was it like growing up? Like, do you remember any favorite memories you and him had?
Yeah, we together we studied. Together we go to the schools. Together we where he studied at that places I studied as well. Apart from the after standard 12th, we got differently because his stream is AI field and my stream is commerce. So basically, after 12th, we separated on separated college-wise differences is there, and apart from that, in my professional field as well, I filed his return, income tax return. That kind of a relation I have. I was with my brother.
So did he leave maybe any personal belongings behind, maybe that you still have, and you look at it, maybe it reminds you of something? Like everybody has that, something that is connected to the person.
On 13th of October, that is the day of my birthday. On that day, some of my friends who gave me a collage picture, and in that picture, we have a family members in which my brother was also there. So I always seeing every round and there in my room. He was there. He is with me still. I'm saying he is with me at every point of time. I saw him. I find that he is with me.
I remember because when I was growing up, I had a sibling as well. If I had to pick some of the good parts of our memories, it was when I was learning to ride a bike, okay? And the bike was too big for me, okay? Like, it was like me and my sister had a 4-year age gap, okay? So everything would be bought for her and then passed down to me. So when you're really growing up, 4, she's 8, I'm not going to be able to climb an 8-year-old's bike. So what used to happen was I had to throw some tantrums to convince my sister to hold the bike so I will get up on it, and then she would walk with me. okay, and I would pedal the bike because my feet would not reach the floor. But when my sister would hold on to the bike and I'm pedaling, and in those moments, I think when you're family, what you realize is that no matter what happens, she would hold on to the bike and make sure that I don't fall. Did you ever think growing up that one day, Atul would slip from your hands? Like basically, like you were holding a sand in your hands, and it slowly starts slipping away. An outsider, a complete outsider, his wife, took more control of his life than you guys had. How did that personally affect you? That there's nothing you could do. Like you were just basically helplessly watching everything take place, but there was really no control that the family had. What did that feel like?
Generally, in Indian family, that ये पापा का बेटा है और मैं मम्मी का बेटा हूँ, ऐसे ट्रीट किया जाता था हमें. तो पापा से बहुत ज्यादा अटैच्ड था वो, और सारी चीजें वो पापा से डिस्कस करता था. मतलब मेरे से भी ज्यादा वो फादर से ट्रीट करता था. तो ऐसे ही हमारी जर्नी रही है. और जहां भी मेरे पार्ट पे आई बात है, जहां पे मैं आपको बता रहे हो मुझे, तो मैं तो एज अ कैरियर में मैं कहीं स्टक हुआ हूँ, वहां पे भी मेरे भाई ने आके मुझे सपोर्ट किया है. और जहां पे मैं फाइनेंशियली स्टक हुआ हूँ, जहां पे मुझे लगा है कि आई स्टक इन समवेयर इन फाइनेंशियली, ही केम आउट एंड ही टोल्ड मी दैट मैं किसके लिए पैसे कमा रहा हूँ, बिकॉज ऑफ यू एंड माई फैमिली. So that kind of a bondness we have, but the saddest thing now for me is that he is no more with me, and I have to take all the responsibility of my family now. And the first and foremost thing for me now, that we want a justice that he deserve, and for that I am doing everything for him, that he will get justice.
Because beyond his notes that are widely circulated in the public, beyond that, beyond his video, were there any other digital communication that Atul exclusively sent to you before taking the step that he did?
Yeah, he sent 4 mails to me before he committed that raid in the night.
So you're saying he sent you 4 emails that are not public before he did? Okay. So what was that about? Can you elaborate a little bit?
He sent 4 mails. In that there is a advice for my life, as well as what I need to do for my father and my mother, and about the things that where is the data and all, every evidences that he shared with me, that what kind of evidences that I need to produce to the court, as well as the proofs that that is required in a court. So I have all the data is there, even the notes, videos, the letter that he sent to the Supreme Court of India, the President of India, the High Courts, every letter is there with me. So that kind of a email that I have before doing this thing, he sent all that mails to me.
Okay. So I want to ask you how much of that you can share. Like you said he left you specially advice for your life.
Yeah, he advised for my life as well, that what you need to do for your whole life, about my marriage, about my financially, what I need to do. Secondly, about my career, what I need to do further. Everything that he planned, and he everything shared with me, that what I need to do further after his death. So everything he sent, he written over that in that mail.
Can you share the details, like, or is it like private?
No, it cannot be shared to you
Okay.
on the public platform, because a lot of things is there, so I cannot share. And also he wrote about that my health as well. Apart everything he shared,
Like it's personal.
and yeah, it's personal.
Okay. Um So I think one of the most important questions I wanted to ask: are you married? Because
No.
you're not married.
In that advice, it is written over there.
Okay, so maybe so Atul left an advice for you about your marriage, and I
Yes.
wanted to ask you what message in relation to marriage that you want to give all the young men that are not married. So do you see, like, so I think we'll start with the first one first. Like, can you share what he wrote in relation to your marriage? Like, what's the advice? Is that something that's personal, or do you think you can share?
Yeah, I can say he wrote in that mail, don't be emotional. Think about whether you are going to marry once, because the laws of this countries are not for men. Uh, and I took this step because a lot of things is going around him, and he is seeing everything that is just a gender biased and kind of a things. So basically, he wrote everything about that kind of a thing for my marriage. So I planned, and my father and mother has planned what to do or what to not to do. I shared everything with my father as well, what he wrote about me and all.
Do you have any different advice for the men, or is that something you would like? What would you like to say to the men? What should they think about before they get married? Should they even do it or not? What's your advice?
The first advice that I want to tell that no one should go and commit this thing without any knowledge. Go and just check what kind of a judgments is there of the courts. Second, the laws behind it, whether it is related to uh, or whether it is in favor of you or not. And I must tell that there is no law for men in India. There is no agreement is valid before any marriage is not valid in India. Like prenup is there in the foreign countries, but there is no prenup agreement is valid in India. These kind of a things uh, in India. So basically, I want no one go and do this marriage without any knowledge of legal things. And what will happen after my brother, you can see nowadays what kind of society is there, what kind of judgments are coming from the courts. You can see even in that. And not only I am saying this, the judiciary is also saying this, telling that 498 misuse of 498A. So just read about these kind of things, and after this, you can decide whether you want to do a marriage or not.
What's your plan, Because do you plan to stay single, or do you want to get
Yeah,
married?
of course,
You
of
plan to
course. My
stay.
brother, my brother, everything is written on my brother's mail. So I am following that mail, and I find everything and every kind of thing where I am mistake. I found that mail, and I follow that mail. That's it.
Okay, so
He is so visionary. He was so visionary. He visioned everything, and he wrote in that mail.
Because a lot of men who heard about Atul, and I'm seeing a lot of
Yeah.
these reels going viral now, where men are basically rethinking the idea of marriage. Is there even a good idea to do it? And a lot of men are uploading these reels. They're going viral. They're like, I don't know if it's a good idea, given what's happening, given the lack of support, the lack of legal rights. But most men have one question, okay, and that question is that if I don't marry, who will take care of me when I get older? So given that you're one of the people who are planning on staying single, you don't want to get married, what how do you picture yourself getting older or being alone? Like, is that something that affects you? What's your answer to that question?
Why you want to live in India? Go and do a marriage outside India, where there is no law like this, which is in India. So go and go to US, sign a prenup agreement, and do the marriage.
But because that everybody does not have the money to do that, you know.
You want to tell me that about that money part? If you want to go to Dubai, so basically 3 hours from Delhi. Okay, and when I travel from Delhi to Mumbai, it will take 2 hours. So why I will not settle down in Dubai? I think there is a less taxes in Dubai.
Yeah, so what I meant was like
So if you want, if you think about it, the real estate prices of India is much higher than US.
mm,
So if you think about it, if the person not visited any of these kind of a country, then from India you are saying that this country is more expensive. But
mm.
when you plan to go and visit outside India and see what is happening what is happening here and in India, then you will find the differences, and then you can think about it whether you need to settle down in India or whether you need to settle down outside India.
Yeah, so because what
There are
I was
there are a lot of things that you will find outside India is much better country, much better thing, much better that the income part. Also, I want to tell you that if you do 8 hours in India, you will find a less salary, and if you do 8 hours job outside India, you will find a handsome salary from and also the cost of living is also lesser than in India as well. If you have higher income and less cost of living, then you can settle, you can plan to settle there.
yeah, because I partially agree with you, but what I was trying to ask is I think of it as all men, all Indian men, right? Now, obviously, majority are middle class, lower middle class, lower class. And as you know, that if you want to migrate to a country, the a visa system is really, really tight. They will not let anybody in. They want the best of the best talent, right? There are a lot of restrictions. So you can take US as an example. There are a limited number of H1B lotteries every year, and that's going to be granted to those who are most qualified, both academically and experience wise, right? And then it requires an X amount of money to migrate. So what I was trying to say is that most men will never get access to be able to move to another country in the first place, right? So my question was more like, if most men are stuck in India because they're Indian citizens, and it is not realistic for them to be able to escape to another country, and then if they're choosing to stay single and not get married, they have these questions that I will get a loan. Who will take care of me when I'm old? Is that a problem that do you think is realistic or that can be solved? Do you think marriage is worth taking the risk just so somebody is there with you when you're old?
Yeah. If you are telling me this question, I'm answering like this. What will happen to you when you get that marriage? And after that marriage, after 15 days of your marriage, that girl left you and 498A and bulk of false cases filed against you, and what will happen after that when you plan that when you will become an older one, and that your wife is taking care of you and your parents. For these kind of plan you want to do a marriage, but what will happen after 15 days or 1 month or 2 years of marriage, and that girl left you and filed a false cases? Then what will you do? Whether your plan got succeeded or not? This question that everyone should take in your mind. What will happen? This is the question that everyone think about it. What will happen when a marriage, uh, when that woman left you after after a number of days or a few months or a few years? What will happen?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question to ponder, right? Um, is the risk worth the reward, right? The
Mm,
all the dangers that you're taking,
mm,
just for somebody to be there with you when you're old. But I think sometimes conservatives will say that whatever happened to Atul is minority. India's
mm.
divorce rate is only 1.5%. So
Mm.
most marriages survive. So it's not a realistic enough risk to fear not getting into marriage. What do you have to say to that?
I want to tell you that person that they should take out the data of cases filed in a Supreme Court, High Court, or family courts. I guess there is a 20 or 50, 30 times more cases of 498A and kind of a cases, matrimonial cases, more than rape cases. First, secondly, the Supreme Court data is there that 90% cases, 90% false, 498 cases are false. So these two data that is from Supreme Court you can find. Thirdly, I want to tell them that they can go and check the NCRB data, where the suicidal ratio of a men is much more higher than the women,
Uh,
and
because
approximately
because
yeah,
instead of using the S word, can you say self delete?
self.
Delete. The act of ending your life.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Don't
Of course,
use
of
it,
course.
use self delete, and for sexual violence, use grape. Okay, because YouTube censors it.
Hmm,
Yeah, but I think you were saying that check the self delete data.
hmm.
Yeah, sorry I interrupted you. Go on.
Yeah. So basically, I was telling that you go and check the NCRB data that is published by the government authorities. I guess three much more number of three times more than women. The men are going to commit a suicide
Self
after
delete,
marriage.
because self delete. They will take the video
Self
down.
delete.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Self delete.
Yeah, so it is three times more. I think so I think I have a contention with the argument because I think so. I want to ask you your opinion on something. Okay, a lot of so people speculate, so nobody knows what the official number is, like how many marriages happen versus how many end up in a divorce. Now some people say it's 1 in 100 marriages, it's 1% divorce rate. Nobody really knows for sure, right? I've heard some people speculate it's 30%. Okay, 30% is very high. It means like 1 in 3 is ending. So while we don't know what the actual number is, I think what most people ignore, because is the fact that the laws are basically created to establish a power structure in a household. That means even the marriages who don't end up in divorce doesn't mean men are happy in those marriages. What do I mean by that? Okay. If I know that there is a terrorist in town, or if there's a mob that operates in my area, I will not go out late in the night. Why? Because it's a power structure. I have knowledge that if I went out at night, the mob will rob me, right? Just having that knowledge alone affects my affects the way I live my life. Okay. I don't have to be robbed, but the fact that I have knowledge I can be robbed, I no longer go out late in the night. That affects my autonomy and freedom. The fact that everybody knows that laws are all in favor of women, I don't personally have to go through the divorce. But the fact that I have knowledge that the wife can terrorize me through these laws, I am likely to keep my mouth shut, silent, and tolerate the abuse, right? So, number one issue that I have with people who say there is 1% divorce, and I saw this in my family all my life, that whenever my mother misbehaves, right, or is being toxic or even abusing the children, my father has this attitude, bro, I cannot do anything. happy wife, happy life. You know why they say that? They say that because the master is in control of your life, right? Like if you have like a hierarchy system, okay, um, and if the other person controls your life, then if you keep that person happy, they'll keep, like, you're likely to have an easy life. If they are upset, they're going to make it very, very difficult for you. So the fact that there are these laws, even the marriages who are not ending in divorce, it is understood by men that if they push back or say something, or like do not take the abuse well, like if they push her back, she can destroy their lives. So they remain silent, right? So my question is, how many of these marriages that don't end up in divorce are even happy? And is it really worth going through 20, 30 years of toxic marriage just to have somebody take care of you in your old age? Or would you rather save up all the money? You know, there's a high cost to marriage, high cost of raising children. You've stacked up all that money, you know, however hundreds and thousands, millions it is. You can have probably 2, 3 butlers to take care of you, you know, and you will get to live a happy life throughout the way. Like, do you think there is any merit in this? Or like, in your experience, like, what do you think? Are most people happy in marriages, or what's your take on that?
According to me, actually nowadays every wife want a single family. They don't want to live with that parent of the husband's parents. They don't want to live with him. So this is the culture going on in India. And if you tell me that you want to live with her for that older age kind of a things, I think this is a big mistake for the men, that they want to think they think that he is having a wife, and she can take care of him at old age. So this is a big mistake. And just like you told that if you have a money, you can do everything whatever you want. That message is also given by my brother as well, that you have money, you can live your life, happy life. If you don't have that marriage kind of a things, you can spend 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, whatever you want in traveling, and go to good places to refresh your mind and everything. Whatever you want to do, you can do when you have money. So focus on your career, focus on your focus on earnings, and spend a very good life without marriage, and live a happy life without any tension. Because nowadays, when you are having a child, the wife can extort money by way of a child, like my brother's case. You can think of 40,000 rupees for a 2.5 years of child. Alimony is prescribed by the court. 40 years, 40,000 rupees per month, and 40,000 per month is from it means 80,000 rupees from for that 2.5 years of that child. So that kind of a maintenance decided by that court. So you can think, when you have to give 80,000 rupees per month for a child which was which is 2.5 years old, you can think, when he become 18 years of age, what amount you need to pay.
Yeah. And I think
So
so.
if you are earning good, don't do this kind of a things. Otherwise, you ruin your life 100%.
Yeah, I think for people who are not earning good, they are even in worse position. Um,
If you are not earning good, then recently a lot of court judgment is there. I can find what kind of a judgment is there. The person is having 6,250 rupees per month salary, and court decided 6,500 maintenance that you need to pay.
Show Dick some respect.
yeah, so I've also seen courts send men to jail if they don't pay up.
Yeah,
Like there is this popular case, right? I think that made the headlines. This guy Shiv Kumar, who was sent to Tihar jail. He was a disabled man, and he got disabled after his marriage, and so he wasn't able to work. So his wife divorced him, filed for maintenance, and he didn't have the money, so they sent him to Tihar jail. And Deepika crowdfunded the money for him to get him released. Crowdfunding means crowdfunding the alimony so he can be released. I saw one judgment 1 month ago. The guy was protesting. He's like, I don't care how many maintenance errors there are. I don't want to pay. I'm not a slave. They sent him to 9 months jail. So I mean, at this point, so you actually said that you like Supreme Court has a data that 98% of these cases are false. Then why do you think that judiciary is not doing anything, given that they have knowledge that 98% are false? Why are they a mute spectator?
because Supreme Court don't want to use Article 142 power in this case. But apart from this, 142 power can be used by the Supreme Court. Every petition that is filed for this kind of a thing, that is rejected by Supreme Court. Even they know about that for 98 percentage case are false. They just say that go to the parliament and change this law, then we will think about it.
So let me show you
And
something.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I'll let you complete.
yeah. Some of the recently things that is said by some of the judges that I want to tell. Justice Bala M. Trivedi is there, told in a public forum that I do have a soft corner for women, more particularly working women. Think about this line and think about when a men case filed in this courtroom. Whether do you think that that man will get justice from these kind of a judges? If the mindset of these judges are like this, who and after Supreme Court, where you want to go? There is no option than suicide or like kind of a things.
Yeah, so I want you to, so let's talk about judiciary for a second, okay? So you gave an example of Justice Bella Trivedi. Okay, so I want, sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, okay, so I want people to see, including you, Bikas, a couple of things. Okay, so this is the video that you were just speaking
Yeah.
about. This is Justice
Yeah.
Bella Trivedi. Now, I want people to note where she's standing is actually a women's conference. Yeah, the conference for yeah, it's a felicitation function for lady advocates of Supreme Court. Okay, so I'm gonna play this clip, let people hear what she's really saying. I also want people to hear the judge that presided on your case when you asked for child custody, Justice B.B. Nagaratana. She has some views about families. I want people to hear what judiciary really thinks about justice in marital situations, okay? And do their views reflect a bias, right? Is this a judiciary for the people or judiciary for women? So let's first play the clip that you were just speaking about, right? Let's let people hear it.
Judges don't have gender when we are on the desk. But I would say that I do have a soft corner for women. I do have a soft corner not because I consider them as weaker gender, but because I respect their commitment.
Judges are not supposed to have a gender, but she has a soft corner for women. The fact that there is a very dominant women's lobby that is present, these women's rights organization, and there is a complete absence of men's rights organization. So the fact that this lobbying happens, these conferences are held, where judges are invited. It's not a judiciary for people then, because you are essentially favoring one gender openly. Do the judges even have like a moral responsibility that they're supposed to be guardians of justice rather than guardians of a gender? Like, what's your opinion on this? Do they have a bias?
Of course, they whenever I am seeing the judgments, recent time judgments, I found there is a biasness in that judgment. Most of the orders are in the favor of women. You should not be gender biased. You should give orders after seeing all the facts and the case, uh, and about the merit of that case. The accountability part that is described by our Vice President of India, that there is no accountability of the judges. So, who are going to fix this accountability on judges? I found a lot of case laws recent times that after 1.5 years, a wife came out from anywhere and told to the court that I am here, and his husband is from 1.5 years in jail. So who are going to take that responsibility or accountability of that man that he spent 1.5 years of jail? Whether these judges are accountable, and if that judges are accountable, then what is the punishment for that judges?
What happened with Rita Kaushik, given that your brother left a self-delete note naming her as one of the accused, and she was presiding on his case? Is she still a judge on the case? Because cases are still going on you, on your family. So is that judge still involved? Is she still presiding over the case, or is a different judge?
She is still judge of that family court district judge, Rita Kosik, and there is no investigation around there. I found somewhere that internal investigation is going on against her. But if I am seeing the Yashwant Varma cases that happened in the recent times, that even a cash prize found in his residence, then there is no FIR is there against that judge. What happened to that judge? They just transferred from Delhi High Court to Allahabad High Court. This is the maximum punishment that he found, because a committee is created by our CJI, and in that committee they found he is not guilty, and whatever they found, they just transferred that person from Delhi High Court to Allahabad High Court.
Yeah, so this judge was basically
This is the maximum punishment that he got. So basically, what I think what will happen to Nikita Kaushik? There is
yes.
a lobby of judges. They cannot give any punishment to that judges, according to me. When Supreme Court comes out and save a sitting judge, which Lokayukt Act is there, and a sitting judge is found guilty in that act, Supreme Court uses suo motu power and said that Lokayukt Act is not applicable on that judge. So what do you expect, that if judges like is if corrupt judges are there, there is no law for them. They are above God. They are pretending that they are above God.
So, because I think you told me something really interesting is that a judge's name cannot even be in the FIR. So, being a judge basically means that you have immunity to commit crimes. Now, this judge Yashwant, for the people who are watching who don't know, what's happened is his house had caught on fire, if I remember correctly, and he had called the fire department. And in the process of trying to put down the fire, they discovered crores and crores in money, cash in his one of his lockers, like cupboards or something like that. That's how he got caught for corruption. And despite having evidence, there was a 3-panel judge that was appointed to investigate. And all they did was just to transfer him, meaning a judge can continue to deliver his duty after having committed the crime. But in a normal man's case, if you're as much as even accused and arrested for 24 hours alone, you are no longer eligible to hold a government job. It's a law that if a person has spent 24 hours in jail after an accusation, they are sacked from their government job. Yet a judge, having committed corruption against the people by taking advantage of his position, is continuing. Despite stealing crores and crores in money, he can hold this position, but a common man cannot. So on the topic of corruption, so a lot of people are asking, after Atul passed away, he had asked for his son to be handed over to you and your parents. Where is the son now? Like, is he with you or is he with Nikita? Who has the son?
Son is with his mother. That Nikita is having that son. So basically, my brother told about that son custody to us, but still there is no custody we found. We filed a case in a habeas corpus about that child, where about that child. So in that Supreme Court, there is two judge bench is there, and in that the justice and in one day told that the grandmother is stranger to that child. Then our attorney told to that judge, if the grandmother is the stranger to that child, then what about that warden? Whether that warden is not the stranger to that child. The child was at Satyug Darshan Vidyalaya at Faridabad in a hostel, that is in boarding school at that time. So on the next date, they decided that, and they told to us that the grandmother can file the case in a lower court for that custody of that child. Till then, that child is with Nikita Singhania.
So the standards are very different. Now, if you accuse a man of crimes, like basically abetting the death of a woman by the harassment of dowry, let's say she just ends up dying in the process, right? And this accusation is thrown. Men are not even released from jail. Men are not released from jail in rape cases, in sexual harassment cases. Yet when Nikita is accused in abetting in taking life of Atul, despite her being the prime suspect, right? She's allowed to have a custody of a child. Is that really safe? What do you feel? Like, it's a 2-year-old son that Atul has. Like, do you really think he's being raised in the right company? When he grows up, like what do you think is happening to him? What does he think about his father being absent?
I just want to tell to your audience that they need to decide how can upbringings be safe there if that mother went their own child at the age of 4 years in a boarding school? Do you think that in India any mother can send their 4 year of child in a hostel? This is the thing that I want to ask with your audience, that any mother, whether any mother in India, send their own child to the hostel for their own freedom.
That's a question for you. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think what I was wondering is that a lot of times you see mothers kind of brainwash their children. I'm wondering if the child will even recognize Atul when he grows up. Like, what image will he have in his mind about who his father was and what happened to him, given that he's under the influence of basically the enemy in this case, right? Um,
Even after washing off that mind, I just want to tell you that he will know the truth. I am having the gift that he left behind for his child, and I am having that gift for him. So when he will become 18 years of age, I will present that gift to him. At that moment, I guess he will realize what kind of father he was. When he wrote about that suicide note, there is a one page written over there for that child. When he read that pages, he will realize what kind of a father he was, because my brother's blood is there. My brother's blood is in his body. So everything will come up. We need to wait and watch what judiciary will, whether judiciary will give us the custody or not. Because in India there is a law, Guardian and Ward Act, which is of 1890s Act. So I don't know when this act will change and become a gender neutral laws in India.
so, because the Guardianship Act says that the child custody should be decided in the best interest of the child. The fact that Guardianship Act is ambiguous, like it doesn't specify, it doesn't say custody is 50-50, or the mother can have it or the father can have it. It just says whatever is in the best interest of the child. When you write a very vague law like this, it is left up to the reader to interpret whatever he wants. Okay, given that the judiciary is attending women's conferences, right, and like Justice Bella Trivedi said, I have a soft corner for women. How many cases do you think, in how many cases do fathers, even if they're alive, get the custody versus women?
I don't think, apart from two and three cases, in any case, they gave the custody of their child to the father.
Like, what do you think will help men in this case? How should the legal system change? Like, do you think everything should be gender neutral? And what does the path towards equality and justice really look like at this point, given the way things are?
Everyone is talking about that equality. Then for equality, there should be a gender neutral laws. Otherwise, the society, as per my brother's case, he tweeted Elon Musk and Donald Trump. There is a male genocide in India is going on. So I'm repeating those words, and you will find if there is no change of this law, then a male genocide will be there.
Because I have an interesting question for you. Are you a Hindu?
Yeah,
And this is a Hindu majority country, right?
right.
So I would imagine that Hindu conservatives have the loudest voices. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
How is it that a country with a Hindu majority ends up ignoring Hindu men? Because the man sends a signal saying a genocide is happening. I remember reading his notes where he said less men died in Kargil war, but received more attention. He had this written in his self-delete notes, chat. He said, take the number of men who died in Kargil war and how much attention you paid to that issue nationally versus how many men self-delete themselves due to marital issues every year in India is probably 4, 5, 10x, right? Depending on what number you're looking at. Yet, it is not a cause for national concern at all. So, Bikas, do you think that Hindus only care about men when they need them to give up their life in war? But when it is a peacetime, right? I think the people that abuse men the most or ignore men the most are Hindus themselves. So where are men more in danger? At the border against the enemy or in front of their own people at their home?
I guess the second one that you told, that they are more panic. There should be a more panic when the men cannot raise your voice against the men. We held a satyagraha for men in a recent times in a Jantar Mantar. We found only only 500 to 700 people gathered there from all over India. So when the people from whole of India is coming, only 5 to 700 or thousands of men at that for that satyagraha, then what will you say when a girl is raped? Every man in this country are coming out from their house uh, and shouted that we want justice. But for men, they are not concerning about that men. They are not coming out from their home. So basically, we need to think. We need to think about the society where is going, uh, and people should think that might be this is the case in my family, but might be after some time or after some years, maybe some of the cases you will find in your houses as well. Then you will realize that you should participate this kind of a things at early, but you didn't do at that time. So this is the right time to think about it. This is the right time to go out of the house and praise people who are indulge in this kind of a false cases, support them, and realize them that they are not alone.
Do you think men ignore men's issues, Hindus ignore men's issues? So who is the friend of men? So I want to show people something. I think this is something we discuss a lot. These are the protests in Nirbaya's case. As you
Yes,
can see, all of these people who are taking water jets, if you look at the majority of the population here, the masses, they
yes,
are mostly men. So
yes.
men are more willing to show up for women's causes than to show up
Hmm.
for their own gender. Um, so I think this is where some of the people have that mentality that it's not a issue that affects most men. It's only 1% divorce rate, so why should I care? But I come across, I think when I come across issues, right? Like last week, I saw a video where a guy was like, I faced discrimination in hiring. Yeah, the guy said, I'm a Zomato delivery guy, despite having 98% marks in school, going to the top colleges, getting the best grades, best degrees. Yet, when the hiring was going on, women get a more preference against the guys, right? So he had to do Zomato delivery. Now, what happens with men's issues is that you might take an isolated example that affects men. For him, hiring discrimination. For some people, it's reservation in universities, right? For other people, it's they're doing long hours, dangerous job, work conditions are not safe. Okay. For some, it's marriage issues. And for some it's false cases, sexual harassment. So I think what happens to men is like they get they only think about themselves. They're like, if an issue doesn't affect me personally, then why should I go to help somebody else, right? But overall, I remember reading an article, of yours. I think I'll try to find it, but the article had details about your satyagraha for men and what it's about. And on top, you were quoted as saying that I am not just fighting to get justice for my brother, but I want justice for all men, and you want a men's commission. So what is the overall motive of the movement you're trying to raise, right? And how do you want like men to be involved? What's in it for them, and why should they support it? Can you speak to that a little bit?
I lost my brother. Okay, so basically for me, this is the big loss for me and my family. But when I see around me after my brother's case, a lot of cases are coming out that more of the men, when I found a lot of NGOs are there who is having lots of men who's ruining their life around these kind of a cases. So when I found these kind of a things uh, around me, and the society is surrounded by these kind of a false cases, then I realized that my brother did something for these men. So basically, he was one of them. After this, lot of media coverage, media is coming out and become this kind of a cases very usually in each day we found 2 and 3 cases are highlighted after this. So this is a really a very concerning issues for the society, and I decided that I need to come forward and uh, apart from my brother, lot of brother is there, lot of brothers families is there who is suffering from these kind of cases, and for them I need to do something, as my brothers always told me that we need to do something for the society. So that kind of a words I remember from my brother, that I need to live and I need to fight for them, and for I think they all are my brothers now, and for them I need to do something, and I am raising my voice for them and for their families.
So
So they
you
all are becoming.
So I think this was actually going to be one of my questions. What are the principles of Atul? What values he believed in? I think you kind of answered it. Like, not only did he want you to fight for justice for him, but he wanted himself and even you to fight for what you say is men. All men are your brothers, and they all need help. I think that's something that people should take away, because I think you're trying to help a gender that doesn't show up to help themselves sometimes. You having gone through all this trauma, having to lose your brother, you're still standing and trying to help those who are not even present at the protest with you, but you're still fighting a fight for them as well. So I really admire that about you. I put this on my screen. So this is the article where Bikas was quoted, and on the top right, you can see here, it says, "I will fight for justice for my brother and every man in the country who is fighting false cases and being harassed by estranged wives. We are organizing Satyagraha for men's rights at the Jantar Mantar in Delhi to request authorities to let men also live." Chad, I just want to take a moment to tell everyone that Anybody who wants to be associated with Bikas, his movement, if you want to support it, I have included the tag for Bikas for his X account on the screen. It's Bikas_cute. Please connect with him, because unless you show up to fight, I think nothing will change. And I just see a lot of comparisons, disparities. I think I'll come back to judiciary later, but because I want to change the subject a little bit, I want to ask you about Nikita and Atul. Let's go to Atul first. Did you see his demeanor change, maybe few days, few months before he had taken the step? Like, did you see any signs of stress? Maybe he was behaving a little differently. Any anxieties leading up to, the things that transpired? Did you see any changes out of the ordinary?
No, never. Even on that day of that suicide, I talked 3 to 4 times on that day, and everything is normal. Nothing is changed. Even though he talked around 1 hour from my father and mother, who is living in Bihar. So everything is normal. Nothing is there. Nothing. We found anything change in his face as well as in his talk. We nothing found any kind of a changes is there.
Okay, but did he have any maybe fears? Because like you said, he's a visionary. He's able to predict a lot of things. Given that he was handling his case, was somebody helping him, or was he doing it all by himself? Like, I am just, I don't want to bother other people with my problems type of guy, or was somebody assisting him throughout the process? Like, before you answer that question, I do personally know that he was in touch with Anil's NGO, SIFF, and I also have knowledge that Anil had sent one of the volunteers to live with him, so he was actually sleeping over at his place often. I mean, at least at the time that I personally met him, I had asked somebody in the car, like, is he good? How's he handling it? And the answer that the other person gave was that he's okay. And on top of that, we know a person, XYZ name, who basically goes over to his house and sleeps over there to give him company, right? So a lot of people were questioning that, why don't men seek mental health related help or emotional support? So I do know that that support was provided to him. But then somebody in the protests raised a very important question, is that how long can you monitor somebody, right? Like, are you going to put a surveillance camera 24/7, or a person there with them 24/7, 365 days a year for next 10 to 20 years? They're fighting a case that is just not realistic, right? So given that we know that he did have some support, but as far as the case goes, right, other than the guidance maybe Anil's organization provided him, was anybody else helping him? Was he taking care of it all by himself? And was he able to predict any outcomes? Maybe did he have any fears of what may or may not happen with the case?
The thing that you told about that about the Anil sir, and he is associated with the Anil sir as well as his NGO's name, SIFF, Save Indian Family Foundation. So basically, he was associated. I think last 3 years he was associated with him, and they all know about Atul, that he is a very good person. I personally met with Anil sir, and the some of the colleagues or volunteers of that SIFF. Uh, with him, I connected with him, and he told everything about him, that he is very calm, cool, and they also never thought that this kind of act will be done by Atul. So you cannot say there is any anxiety or something like this in his mind, or something like this. So basically, I think that there is a harassment, there is a judicial uh, corruption, and there is a false cases. These kind of a things that I think this is for this thing. I can say that might be there is something that 80,000 rupees for that child that is decided by the court, and there is something that corruption amount that is wanted by that judge,
5
lady judge,
lakhs. Yeah.
Preta Gosek, and the abatement that is told by his own wife, and the mother-in-law, that is Nisa Singhania, that why you didn't commit suicide till now. That kind of a words told by that mother-in-law. These all kind of a things that maybe in his mind, and due to that kind of abatement, might be he commit that suicide. That will be decided by the court. So we are we filed that FIR, and we are still waiting for the charge sheet that is going to be filed by that IO.
Yeah, because try not using the S word. Use self delete.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember, they
Sorry,
will
sorry.
take it down. Okay, so I remember yesterday we were talking. You said
Just me pause on that word. Maybe you can do that.
sure. When we were talking yesterday, you mentioned that this one time he called you and he said that I've applied for anti-spit rebel, and if it gets rejected, I may get arrested.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? And so I would imagine that that would be one of his concerns. Like, did that affect him personally, or the possibility of getting arrested? Like, it looks like to me, it looked like it's almost like he was going into the enemy territory, and basically saying that, hey, I'm going to the border. Like, you know how the soldiers go, like, hey, I'm going to the border, I might not come back, you know. But I think the sad part is that this is the condition of men in the very own country itself. They're not even going to the border, but they're in the same danger. So let me know what you think about this. I thought about it very deeply, and I felt like I was watching this movie. It's called The Lone Survivor. Okay. What happens in The Lone Survivor is a group of soldiers get stuck in Afghanistan when it was under Taliban's rule, and nobody knows. Okay, so how can somebody rescue them if nobody knows that they're stuck, right? Everybody thinks they're just dead soldiers. So the entire movie, and this is based on a true story, is that they had to get high enough to send a radio signal, a distress signal to their team to call for a rescue. Let me see what their names are, because I want to get the story right. Okay, because I really rationalize Atul like this. Yeah, so Marcus, I don't know what his last name is. People can look it up. So Marcus and Murphy. Okay, so what happens in this movie, Bikas, is Murphy climbs up to the high spot and takes all the bullets by the enemy to be able to send a distress signal so the rescue can be called upon for the rest of his team. In the end, out of the 6-7 guys that were stuck there, only one guy survived. But I looked at Atul as if, and this was my personal experience talking to him, he felt like Trump built a wall to keep illegal immigrants out. India has built an information wall to keep the screams of men outside of the public knowledge. They were ending themselves over and over again. Nobody would hear their voice. So he wanted to send a distress signal, and in the process, he ended up sacrificing himself so the broader rescue or people's attention can go there, right? It's like all the state judiciary was committing crimes in the corner. You pick up each victim, take him behind a wall, rob them, end their lives, and muzzle their mouth. Nobody will ever hear what's happening to them, right? And this one guy cracked that information wall, and that was Atul for me. And all of the distress signal that he sent reached, like all of the images were broadcasted nationally. So now people know what's happening, right? So they can come to the rescue. So do you think that, because I think when you were on interviews and debates with these mainstream media, there was this lady Charu who kept calling it a mental health issue. But the way I saw it was that these are all martyrs, and one of them gave up his life as a sacrifice to be able to save the rest of the men. Is that how you see it, or is it different the way you rationalize what happened?
I see him as a Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh took his own life and gave a signal to the country like that. I find my brother that he sacrificed his life, and after that, we are seeing what kind of a cases we are seeing in the newspapers and the news medias are there. And the same trend is going on. Same trend is going on. Uh, People dying either by the suicide, either by taking poison due to the harassment by his wife and mother-in-law and their family. So he was the one who who come out and sacrifices his life due to surrounded by these kind of people, these kind of brothers, surrounded by the false kisses by his wife. So he came out from that thing and sacrificed his life. So I called him as a Bhagat Singh. So I don't know what people are going to tell his sacrifice, but I am finding that we want justice from the court as well, that he was not guilty, and the false cases that is filed by his wife and his wife's family, they uh, they uh, they must be they should be punished by the court, and then after we will find some justice to my brother.
Um, Sagar in the chat is asking you some questions, okay?
Yeah.
And I want to direct them to you. I think one of them is about Nikita. Let me find his question. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, so what was the friend circle of Nikita Singhania? Did you see any red flags that you could have spotted that may have helped you know what her character is? Okay, so I want you to address 3 questions about Nikita. What was her friend circle like? Were there any red flags that you guys missed? And third is, were there any signs of her cheating before marriage? So having maybe promiscuous behavior before marriage or cheating after marriage?
First, I want to tell you that the cheating part, that his family has done, like she is having 8 lakh rupees of a loan, education loan. They didn't disclose to us that she is having 8 lakh rupees of education loan. And after the marriage, when we found that there is a 8 lakh rupees of loan, uh, then my brother asked about this kind of a things. Then his mother-in-law told him that आपके लिए कौन सी बड़ी बात है, आप तो 1 मिनट में इसके पैसे आप भर दोगे. That kind of answer that we got from that mother-in-law. So whether this is not a kind of a cheating in marriage.
Was she like involved with other men after the marriage or before?
After the marriage, if I was talking to my brother when he was live. He told that when after the marriage, she uh, called someone. I don't know his name right now. She was talking on a video call or something like this when my brother was not there, or he was in office. So he talked in a video call as well as on a phone calls as well. So I don't know his name, but his name is present in the courtroom file. So I have that file, so I will check out and uh, let you know after some time, whenever
And
we will.
what was Nikita's friend circle like? Do you have any knowledge? Like, what kind of company she
She
kept?
she is that kind of a girl that I will describe from the office part first of all. That she was very lazy because at the first company when he took that job, because of that late part or due to not fulfilled any obligation towards that company, they rejected her. And after that, there is no job to her around 2 or 3 years, around 1 year approximate. In that 1 year, my brother uh, gave all the knowledge about that software technology part or something. मतलब he उसने सारी चीजें उसे पढ़ाई लिखाई और समझाया, इंटरव्यू तक क्रैक करवाया. उसके बाद उसकी जॉब लगी एसेंचर कंपनी में जाकर. और नाउ डेज सी इज हैविंग अ जॉब इन एसेंचर. So basically, that kind of a relation in terms of that job part, I can tell you that she is very lazy in her job.
She's okay. She's very lazy. Okay. Did she have, I think what
Lazy and not fulfill the any commitment towards that job. So I
I mean
can
it
just tell you about this kind of a thing.
I mean, because it makes sense. Like somebody who is trying to exploit her husband for money for the purposes of boosting the business or building their own house. These were the reasons, the pretext under which Nikita's family took 19 lakhs from Atul, that we want to build our business, we want to
Yes.
build our house, right? Of course, these
Yes.
are lazy people. And Atul said that in his video, is that her brother, Nikita's brother, after Nikita's father passed away, the brother was utterly useless. This is a group of lazy people, lazy family that is trying to
Yes.
use him for easy money. What's surprising to me is that she came up with a 8 lakhs of education loan that she had before marriage. She didn't disclose that to you guys. Now, and she was trying to make Atul pay for that, or like, because like I think that's essentially what you said, is that it's too little of an amount for Atul to pay. Now, a lot of time people ignore that while alimony is widely known, I would say that demanding or expecting men to give you money, um, you know, even before or during marriage would count as dowry. So a lot of times people recognize dowry as an issue for women in India. People have also started recognizing that dowry is also taken from men in China, for example. But I think a lot of times people ignore that a dowry in some ways also extorted from men in India. There is this whole cabal, which is, I think it's very common in Punjab, where women would basically marry Punjabi guys, and then they would ask him to fund their education and visas in a foreign country. And after taking the money, they'll flee to the foreign country and they'll cut off the ties with the husband after taking all that money. So I think there was a report, like, I think I saw 3,500 guys came forward in the media saying that this has happened to them. And I think in Atul's case, it's kind of like that. It's like you're coming up with the expectations that he will pay your loan. Isn't that a form of dowry? So I think while we talk about how women file false cases of dowry, I think real cases of dowry being taken from men is also not recognized. Do you think that should be an issue? Do you think what your brother said about how the family expected him to buy jewelry during Dhanteras, and they would say that, oh, other husbands buy jewelry for their wives, why don't you buy the jewelry? Do you think this should be taken as dowry harassment, maybe that happens for in the context of men, harassment for money that is overlooked?
If I want to tell you that these 98% of false cases it will be shut down when there is a law coming out, and it is being said that there will be no alimony in any case, then you can find that 98 false cases has been set. So this is the only solution. When dowry is not there, then alimony should not be there. And if this will happen, then you will realize that the divorce rate is also decreased accordingly. These false cases violation by the wife and the wife family is also decreases. So basically, these alimony concept is too bad for the society as well as for the country.
Because do you think alimony should be completely abolished? Fully?
No, I'm not saying that alimony should be completely abolished. But I want to tell you that judiciary should be taking care of this. In judiciary, there is a corruption, and corruption from the investigation part, that is from the police part. The proper investigation was not there by the police, and then it will go to the court, and in that courtroom everyone is corrupted, either advocates, secondly the peskar, that is Madhav in my case, peskar is also corrupted, third one is the judges. They all are corrupted because they want money from men, and the alimony that is decided, in which their part is also there.
But because let me challenge you on something. So you think alimony should not be completely abolished, but judiciary should do their job? What do you mean by that? Like, do you think, like, ideally, if judiciary was not corrupt, how do you think they should handle the alimony part?
They should come out whether there is any legal aspect is there. I can say that someone who is indeed in need of this kind of a thing, like
Okay, so
according to me,
yeah, so what would be the conditions under which alimony is justified?
if the woman cannot do a job, like either she is not able to do any kind of a job, then it should be decided on the basis of the income of the husband. Otherwise, there should not be any alimony case.
Okay, so when you say under if a wife cannot do any kind of job, do you mean
Like
because
he
of,
is he is handicapped or like kind of a things.
so in case where she's disabled?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So okay, I don't mean to make it political. Um
No, I
you
can come out on a political part as well.
Okay. Well, actually, you won't like if I ask you what I ask next. So I have seen that you have closely worked with Deepika, right? Next time you meet her,
Your voice is stuck. Can you please
sure,
repeat?
sure. So you've worked closely with Deepika Bhardwaj, right? You met, you went to meet Dinesh, member of parliament. I saw your picture. You were together with Deepika. If you get a chance to meet her again, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to ask this alimony question that I just asked you to her. It's like, under what conditions does she think alimony is justified for women? Ask the same question to her. Why? Because if you see on my screen, because this is the tweet I came across, okay? And this, so in men's rights movement, we have a division. Okay, I would say I'm on side A, Deepika is on side B. And the reason why that division exists is because of views like this, okay? Now, what is this tweet? There is an account on X who made a tweet, said, please make these changes in women's laws. Number one, no alimony to the graduate women. Number two, evidence stage should be the first in family matters. Number three, punishment for women if the case is found to be false. Now, you would look at this, you'll say, I agree and I want more, because you said you don't even want to give alimony to non-graduate women. Only reason you think alimony should be given is if a woman is disabled. Now,
Yes.
now this woman is saying that no alimony to the graduate women. Okay, so she's arguing less than you. Deepika responds, she says, totally agree with point number 2 and 3. So she agrees that evidence and false cases should be scrutinized. Okay, but she doesn't agree on the alimony part. She thinks, and she explains a little bit down here, right? She explains further. She says, those who are asking about point number one being alimony, there are myriad situations where alimony is absolutely justified. And she being a graduate or above isn't a disqualifying criteria. So Deepika thinks that even if a person is graduate, fully abled, should get alimony under certain circumstances. So this is what I meant by political, because this is a division in men's rights movement. Now, if you were to take the person out of this, right? Let's just say you did not know that this is Deepika saying things that she's saying. You just heard a message alone. Do you agree with this? Do you think in certain situation, a fully abled graduate women should also get alimony?
No.
No. Okay. So because
Because lot of men is also there who is not graduated. They are earning by way of doing hard work. So in India there is an equality. So why women should not go and do a hard work and earn money?
that's a good question. So because I want you to do me a favor, because I have never talked to Deepika in person and I don't know if I ever will. So next time you see her, you ask her that question and you tell us what she answers, okay? Because we are all very curious. But I am with you on this, okay? See, because what happens is in alimony is that men are basically being domesticated. If a cow makes all the money for you, why would you ever need to go to work? There are these documentaries about animals, and they say that I think you would have heard a saying where no lion goes on a hunt on a full belly, right? If wild animals are fed by humans, they lose their ability to hunt for food, and that is generational in nature. Meaning, they say that animals usually pass their culture down to their future generations. So if generation A loses their ability to hunt because humans started feeding them food, that means their babies and offsprings below that would also not learn how to hunt, right? So I think what's happening is that men are essentially being taken as slaves, right? This is what Atul was saying, is that it is like a ATM. Okay, you just cash, you don't work yourself, you just cash this ATM. And America did that with slavery in different ways, right? Have you heard of brick kiln industries in India? There are a lot of reports where they say 50,000 workers are enslaved in brick kiln industries. Do you know how that happens by any chance? Okay,
No.
okay, I'll give you a story. Okay, let me know if it's relatable. So what happens in brick kiln industries is that, let me just, if you don't understand what that word means, I'll just put it on the screen so you can visualize what I'm saying.
Okay, brick industries. Okay.
Yeah, this is a brick kiln
Okay.
industry. So what would happen in this Vikas is that the owner of the brick kiln would basically prey on the illiterate and poor, okay? Because they don't know how to read or write, and in certain times they will fall into emergency situations where, let's say, their family member is hospitalized and they need the money, they don't have it. So banks don't approve their loans because these are poor people, they don't have any collateral. And so the only place they can go to is the owners of these brick kiln industries. So the owner would take advantage of that. He'll give them some loan, but he'll say, in return, you have to work in my organization or company, whatever it is, and I will garnish your wages every month until the loan is repaid. Now the problem is that these people don't know how to read or write, so they don't even get to read the contract. The interest rates are over the ceiling. It's more than what they make in the money, so they'll never be able to pay the loan. But they don't know how to read, so they don't know that. They're not given a copy of the contract. So essentially, bottom line is that all these workers get trapped. It's like a hostage situation. Every day they work, and every day their wages are garnished, just like in alimony, right? Like Atul makes 80,000, 40,000 is garnished, right? And that keeps happening. They always remain in debt for their entire life. They can never escape it. So the difference between alimony and slavery is like this, like it happens in Dubai in kafala system. You might have heard of that, right? The only difference is that they prey upon, like, I would say the profile category of their victim is different, right? Where in brick kiln industries, they prey upon the poor. Alimony system preys upon rich and poor indiscriminately, men of all kind. As long as you have money, it's ours to keep. And so this men basically become like domesticated animals. It's like you're just being farmed for money over and over again, like a golden goose, right? So I saw one of your interviews, and I think this is what you were saying, is like, why do women think that they're entitled to even a single penny from us? You know, because our parents raised us to make money for ourselves, not to give it to other people, because at that point you just become a slave, don't you? So yeah, so I think you answered my question. I just went on a tangent, I apologize, but I think your answer was that only if a woman is disabled she should get alimony, and I think you would say the same thing for men. If men are disabled, women should give alimony as well, right?
Yeah, right.
One more question by the chatter. Sagar was also asking, bro, ask him what wisdom Atul gave for upcoming men as message. Did he leave anything? Any message for men in general?
Focus on your career and make the money so that you can go outside India and do a better job or do a better life in outside India.
I think I came across these cases as well. I'll put it on the screen. So, what's interesting, because is that after Atul passed away, it's like a domino effect. So I know that men were ending lives even before, and they were recording themselves. But now it's like they're using the same words that Atul used. So this is 2 weeks ago. Okay, this man Mohit Yadav. He used the same words that Atul used. He said, "Throw my ashes in drain." Okay, he recorded himself saying that. I've shown some before to my stream as well. There was one from Faridabad. These self-deletes that you're looking at screen are today. Before I came on the stream chat, 2 cases were sitting on my timeline. Okay, this one is from Chennai. This guy jumped in the river and ended himself due to harassment by wife and family. This one again from today. I don't know which location it's from, but this man had an argument with his wife after dropping his children to school, and when she was outside he ended up taking his life as well. Now I saw a tweet from Deepika, and her team has been documenting all of the news. Okay, so she reported that there have been 100 plus self-deletes that have happened in 6 months after Atul's passing. And these 100 plus self-deletes that she has counted are only the ones that are reported by media where men have recorded themselves and ended their lives, right? So what is the response of the parliament? Because I remember you tried to meet with Dinesh and he spoke in the parliament. What has been your journey with the legislators or politicians? How many of them have stepped forward to help you? What are their assurances? Have you seen any progress in that aspect on the issue?
I personally met with the Anurag Thakurji, which is an MP, and I personally met with him as well. And I told about all this kind of a story about my brother and about the judiciary part. Then he replied me that they are trying to raise a bill in the coming parliament session. So I am relying his words, and on that part, I must say that they are listening the voices of men as well. So we need to wait and watch whether any bill is coming up in the coming parliament session or not.
You also, when we were speaking on the call, I asked you about Dinesh. I think his last name is D'Souza. Is that what it is? The
Dinesh Sharma.
Dinesh Sharma. Okay. So he actually gave a speech in the parliament in favor of Atul. When you met
In
with him,
Rajya Sabha, he spoke words uh, about that Atul Subhash case in the Rajya Sabha.
did he tell? So when you met him, did he tell you anything in the meeting that is not public? Was there any discussion, any details that he mentioned to you personally?
Yeah, actually, he knew this case very close. He looking this case very closely, and I presented him about this case and what happened with him. So he asked about that whether this case is still in a judiciary part or not. So I told him that yes, this case is pending before the court. So altogether, he told me that we raised this concern in the Rajya Sabha. You can look into it, and they gave some of the hints that what I need to do further for this thing. So I am taking that words from him, and I am doing that kind of a work
Um,
as well.
are you allowed to share like what were the tips that he gave you, or is that
No,
private? No.
not on this platform.
Okay. But did you see any hope from any other? So Anurag Thakur, Dinesh, was there
I,
anybody else?
I and my father all are believing that anything that is difficult to do can be done only by the BJP government. So we have some hopes that this government will can raise this kind of a bill, so that we are not asking that that erode or elapse that laws which are gender biased. We just want that for men there should be a law. For men there should be a commission, so that a man can go and raise and present himself that he is not guilty.
Did you hear about this controversy with India's Got Latent?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to see something interesting. Okay, this blue trend is, this is how much society cares about men like Atul Subhash, and this is how much, this yellow is how much society cares about Ranveer Allahbadia's comments in India's Got Latent. So you can see that it's double the amount of attention, that they're more concerned about an obscene remarks by a comedian than people are concerned about deaths of innocent men like Atul Subhash. Now, I ended up looking up the history of the parliament's response on both of these controversy. What does that comparison looks like? More members of parliament have spoken on India's Got Latent controversy. More members of parliament have registered FIRs in their respective states. More police, like there's one from Assam, there's one from Indore, there's one from Mumbai. 3 different states police has taken action on this. They went as far as to say that members of parliament were going to organize a panel or a session to discuss the regulation on content and online communities. So, do you see a difference and disparity in the amount of prioritization by the society? How much do they care about deaths of innocent men versus something obscene spoken over a TV show? Are the priorities of this country right? Do you think your brother got fair treatment from the members of parliament?
I just want to tell you that the society must need to change. Otherwise, right now this is the case for me that my brother sacrificed. But after some years or some months, I can say these type of cases in your family as well. So people of India need to change. People of India change his minds, change his thoughts. They also need to come out from their houses and raise their voices against these gender biased laws.
Because so here are all the articles. Okay, check this out. This is a BJD MP Sasmit Patra. Here is Shiv Sena MP. This is Priyanka Chaturvedi, another member of parliament. Here is another Shiv Sena MP, Naresh Maske. And as you can see on the headlines, that this was a #1 issue for them.
the BJP is doing politics around women. Okay, so if they come out for men, might be they think that they might lose votes, because in politics all the work is going around that vote bank. So basically, for that thing, I want to tell them that there should be a mother of my. There are many more sisters of me. They all are women as well. So I can say the daughter-in-law is not only the woman. Woman can be a mother of a child, a sister of any husband, or kind of a things. They all should be treated as a equally. So we want that you should discuss this thing inside the parliament as well.
So I don't think you think that politicians are leaders. Then they're basically like attention goblins, right? Like it's like whatever is popular. We want to attract followers and votes, but they're not really in for the justice. So they don't really care about deaths of men. Their more priority is to organize a parliamentary panel to summon YouTube Ranveer Allahbadia for controversial remarks. They're more concerned with speech of people than the crimes against human beings. I'm gonna play a video for you. So this is Sai Deepak, okay? He's from conservative Hindu party. He's a debater, he's a lawyer. So one of the men's rights organizations filed a counter to feminist lobby in the marital rape case, where again it was a one-sided law where a wife can accuse the husband of marital rape, but a husband cannot do the opposite. It doesn't require any evidence, and they would file more false cases. So they're trying to make marital rape criminal. So the men's rights organization filed a counter to that case in Supreme Court. So Sai Deepak actually stepped up to help the men's rights organization in that area, which led a lot of men into believing that Sai Deepak supports men's rights. And so one of the viewers asked him his opinion on National Commission for Men. So one of the things common between you on this issue is that when I read your article, you were saying one of the reasons why you're protesting is you also want National Commission for Men, right? Because
Yes.
this is Sai Deepak's opinion on NCM. And I want to hear your thoughts on what you think about his views, okay? So I'll just play it. Give me a sec.
Men's rights on the horizon. When can we expect a national commission for men addressing their specific concerns?
Wonderfully mischievous question, which is meant to break my resolve to not make this controversial. I would rather ask, when would we arrive at a situation when we don't have a national commission for women? That question is not rhetorical, it is not misogynistic. I'm asking, when do we arrive at a situation when the need for a special commission to protect the rights of a particular gender is made useless? When do we arrive at that? That perhaps is the larger question.
Do you think he avoided the question? Because like the question they asked him is that, what do you think about National Commission for Men? The answer he gave is that the need for National Commission for Women. So he changed the subject, which means that he was trying to avoid answering the question in the first place. So do people like Sai Deepak really support men's rights? Like there was this Malcolm X speech, and Malcolm X said that one of the political parties that advocate for black people's right don't actually care about their rights. They just use it to get popularity and votes, but they never intend on giving them equality. Sometimes I think when conservatives like Sai Deepak try to help men, right, they don't actually care about men's rights. They just care about saving the families or having birth rate high enough for the country. So the reason why I think he stepped up in the marital rape case is because he knew that women will increasingly file false cases, which will further break down the marriages, and it will depopulate the Hindu population as compared to the Muslim population, which I think is one of the leaning points for right-wing parties. So I think there is an overlap, right? There is a circle of people who advocate for men's rights. There are a circle of people who advocate for right-wing politics, but in a small section, they overlap on each other, right? So do you really think he cares about men's rights, or it's like, given that what you heard from his answer, do you ever think he's going to support the National Commission for Men? You are a Hindu, Vikas, by the way. You're a Hindu.
Yeah, I cannot answer this question because I never met him. I never know him. Whenever I met with someone, I can see his body language, or I can see him whether he want with the MRA or not, men right activist or not. So by listening this video, I cannot say anything. I don't know him actually, so I cannot say this thing.
This is one of my last question about the judiciary. Supreme Court's remark was that grandmom is a stranger to the child, and they denied your mother the custody of the son, and they instead gave it to Nikita, who's accused of ending the father's life. Justice B.V. Nagaratna. This is the judge who gave this judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I came across one of her videos. The same judge who presided on the case, Justice B.B. Nagaratna, is speaking on equality in this conference. This is what she thinks about equality in families and marriages.
No family can subsist without a healthy balance of economics or care work. A condescending attitude towards women in the family is the cause of the cracks, and domestic violence and infidelity are the outcome of the emerging cracks.
She says the fact that we have condescending attitudes towards women, she says infidelity are the result of that condescending attitude towards women. Domestic violence and infidelity are the result of that. Now, before I play the rest of the video, do you think the judgment was condescending towards your mother, meaning the grandmother of the child, Atul's son? Was her judgment condescending towards the rights of fathers? Like, don't you think that she's justifying infidelity by saying that the fact that we have condescending attitude towards women, that results in cheating by them?
The judgments that are coming out from the Supreme Court, they all are maximum 90-95% judgments which I am seeing nowadays are gender biased.
Is this equality? Because look at the headline. It says justice.
This is not the equality.
This is not equality. So I want you to listen to the rest of the video. Okay, she goes on for 45 seconds more. Okay, and look, just hear the whole video and let me know if you think this is what equality in family looks like.
A condescending attitude towards women in the family is the cause of the cracks, and domestic violence and infidelity are the outcome of the emerging cracks. Mr. Nariman always speaks about the right attitude. I would only say that the men must remove that condescending attitude towards women. I feel that marriage and family as institutions are important in India, and that is why we are sustaining as a society. I would like to emphasize that it is high time that the institution of marriage and family is protected and sustained in our country, and that its very sustenance is dependent upon happiness, comfort, and well-being of women, and everybody in the family must make concrete efforts towards that objective. Just as the erosion of the proper and just function of an organ of the state can have damaging consequences on the entire structure of governance, the erosion of the identity of women in the family, in whatever capacity it is bound to cause eventual breakdown of family and marriage.
Do you think that's equality? Why is this judge speaking like that? And do you think, given her views, she was unfit to hear your case? Because she talks about family, and family to her is only about women's rights and women's interest, women's safety. To her, men are invisible. So do you think judges like that are fit to be on judiciary? And how do you see the legal challenges going forward, given that this is what the judiciary looks like?
If you will ask about the faith in the judiciary, I don't have any faith in judiciary. After my brother case, if you saw that video, that if you will give corruption amount to the judges, you might find a favor from the judge Even though I cannot say that you will get justice even after you will give that corruption amount, because the mindset of the judges are gender biased. The first thing that I want to highlight this thing. Secondly, about this habeas corpus application that is filed by us in the Supreme Court, and the decision that given out, I can say that Supreme Court have suo motu power. Secondly, they have an article in the Constitution of India, that is Article 142, which prescribes the power that is given to the Supreme Court, that they can use that power, and might be according to me, that the custody of that child should be on us, because the welfare of that child is that can be described in any case while finding that quote that the where uh, where the court finds that the welfare of the child is better. So, on that basis, I can say the Supreme Court can use this power, and our prayer is about that the custody that is being taken care of, that was taken care of, but they denied this thing, and they said that the grandmother can file a custody case from the lower court. So we are planning to do that in next coming of days for that custody of that child from the lower court.
Because what is your view on BJP star MP Kangana Ranaut on Atul Subhash remarks? So Kangana gave remarks on Atul Subhash. Did you see that by any chance?
Yeah,
What did you
this
think
all
about it?
kind of a feminism works in their heart, so they never listen this kind of a things. Today's data, I'm giving you the data. 143 women MPs, इनके ऊपर जो है वो आपराधिक मामले चल रहे हैं, ऐसा ADR की रिपोर्ट्स हैं that I can show you. Out of 532, I guess, number of seats in a parliament, this is the today's data.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
Now, what you will say about this Kangana Ranaut?
Do you know about BNS 69?
What is all about?
BNS 69 is basically where women file rape cases on their boyfriends if they don't marry them.
Yeah.
So
Today
BJP incorporated this exclusive law last year when they passed these new amendments. So guess who was encouraging women to file cases like that? Ghana was actually one of the women who posted a story to millions of her followers, and she said BNS 69 exists. So ladies, if your boyfriend doesn't marry you, file this case on your boyfriends. So it's ironic that like it's actually, I'm not even surprised that Kangana said what she said about Atul, because she's actually one of the women who would file false cases on her husband if she had one, right? Evidently. So cool. So
even a recent judgment ordered a man to pay maintenance to his ex live-in partner, even she accused him of rape. Then you can think about the marriage. Then you can think about the girlfriends.
yeah, so Chad, this is what Bikas is talking about. This is 4 days ago. Live-in partners can claim relief under Domestic Violence Act. And so a man was ordered to pay monthly maintenance of 5,000. So all of you who are considering live-in relationships, please be on alert, because you're just as much in danger.
This 5,000 will become a 5 crore rupees some years after some years.
Okay, because so I think we'll move towards the closing slowly. So now that we understand the judiciary landscape, I asked you a very important question on call yesterday. can you tell everybody what you did? So one of the demands from Atul was that if the justice is not served, my ashes should be thrown in the gutter. What have you done with his ashes?
That is with us only at my home. In Hindu religion, this should not be with you. This should be throw it in a Ganga river. But according to my brother's last wish, that their ashes should not be thrown in a Ganga until he served justice from the courts. So basically, we still finding justice from the courts.
So given that you just accepted that you have no hope from the judiciary, the very judges that are presiding on your case, like BB Nagaratna, for people who don't know, this same lady is actually listed to be a Chief Justice of India in the next few years. Okay, she's the upcoming Chief Justice. So given that this is the landscape you're fighting, what do you intend to do with the ashes? Because you're saying you can't drop them in Ganga until we have justice, but at the same time you're telling me you don't really have hope for justice. So what do you plan to do with the ashes? Are you going to keep them at your home forever?
Yeah, we are raising that voices from the government of India that these are going to happen in India in the judiciary. There is a pillar. We can say that that judiciary is the pillar of this country. So if that pillar is demolishing, then what is the next step? We are having the hopes from the BJP government that they can do something, and they can make any laws against us, and from that law we are getting that justice.
Okay, so because would you like to address any misconceptions about Atul? Maybe you heard something that people have a misunderstanding on, or a misconception, or criticism of Atul. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
Yeah, I guess you are talking about that insane part.
Yeah, like some women were calling him incel. Um, some were calling him
Then
mental, and some were calling him
I will ask
misogynist.
some of the I will ask some of the questions to that woman if they are asking this kind of a question. If he was like that, then how he can reach such a position at the age of 34, where 50 number of IITians working under him, and he personally he was in the team of 25 member of world team member of in a multinational company. If secondly, if he was such a person, then why a company's person helped us and told us for them it is a big loss to the company as well. Why people around him gathered together and told us we never saw such a visionary person like him around us. Even today, a lot of persons called me and told me that he was not only Atul Subhash, he was a god for them. Because at the time of Corona, he took online classes free of cost and teach them in the field of technology. And for that, they found a good job after pandemic. His teachers who taught him never believed that such an intelligent student they lost because of our system and false cases era by women. These are the answers that I told you about to my brother, and this is the answer uh, to the person those who are saying this kind of a nonsense about my brother.
Thank you. Vikas, have there been any other changes in the case you want to tell people about after that custody thing? Like, were there any other changes in the last 5-6 months?
Yeah, the 498A and domestic violence case is also being filed on us, like on me as well as on my father, as well as on my mother. For that, we took a bail from the Jaunpur family court. Apart from that, there is nothing happened.
Have you heard about the cement drum case in Merit where a woman chopped
Yes.
off? Okay, I want
Yes,
you to
yes.
watch an interesting video from a lawyer.
आपने पेशकश की है कि आप उसका केस लड़ेंगे वो भी फ्री में क्यों और वजह क्या है?
वजह यह है कि भारतीय संविधान में ये प्रोविजन है कि हर आदमी को कानून में उसके बचाव का सब पूरा मौका दिया जाना चाहिए।
फ्री में क्यों? मतलब उसने तो
Free, guys, it's free. Are you listening to the details? It's driving me mad. I'm
इतना बड़ा
not gonna
अपराध
lie.
किया है, लोग उसके बारे में बातें कर रहे हैं, तरह तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं, तो फ्री आपका इतना बड़ा दिल कैसे हो गया उसे फ्री में आप अपना वकालतनामा पेश करेंगे और फ्री में उसका केस लड़ेंगे?
ये जो है फ्री में, मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं जब उसे कोई वकील नहीं मिलेगा, अगर वो चाहेगी कि जो है मोहम्मद इकबाल एडवोकेट जो खड़कोदा वाले हैं वो उनका केस लड़ें, तो मैं वकालतनामा उसमें लगा दूंगा और
Show Dick some respect.
फ्री में केस लड़ूंगा, उसे बचाने की कोशिश।
A lawyer is voluntarily coming forward to offer free support to her. And he's saying that he will protect a criminal woman. We came across an article where there is a Ramayan's actor, okay, the TV serial Ramayan. And he went to visit this murderer woman in the prison and he gave her a copy of Ramayan. Okay, so this is the kind of support these criminal women are receiving. Did you get the same amount of support from a legal fraternity, like openly coming out to say we'll give free support to Atul?
In my case, I can tell you that these lawyers are the real person who is helping this kind of a false cases, because a normal man never know these kind of a sections. These advocates, these lawyers are the real culprit who is helping them to file a false cases for just merely earning some money. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know of any innocent men who are getting free legal support to come forward and say that they will offer support to criminal women who are chopping off their husbands. It's just super ironic to me. Like, I think, where is the society going?
For taking dates, you need to pay to the Peskar. Then how can you expect that a lawyer who is come out and say that I will fight for you as a free of cost?
Did lawyers join your protest? Like you did one in Delhi for Atul. Did lawyers come forward?
Yeah, some of the lawyers come forward.
How many lawyers do you think were there to support you in that protest?
Around, I guess, 4 to 5 people are there.
4 to 5 people. Okay. So now I want you to watch this video. So this High Court judge, his name is Yashwant Varma. So he got caught in corruption, having crores of money in his cabinet. After the Supreme Court panel was appointed, he was transferred to Allahabad Court. And this is the response of the lawyers. Okay, I want you to watch it for a moment.
The controversy over the discovery of an alleged cash file at the residence of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Varma. Now, the video released by the court showed sacks of burned currency notes allegedly found at Justice Varma's residence.
So this is how many lawyers that have come out to protest, as you can see on the right side.
In a really painful scenario.
And I will play a video of what their opinion is on this judge being transferred from Delhi High Court to Allahabad after the corruption.
देखिए, आप सब जानते हैं न्यायपालिका कैसे चलती है या न्यायपालिका की ताकत क्या है। डेमोक्रेसी के 3 पार्ट, लेजिस्लेचर है, आप चुन के भेजते हैं, कौन चुनता है? पब्लिक। उसके बाद क्या आता है? एग्जीक्यूटिव, उसी में चुने में से कुछ लोग एग्जीक्यूटिव में आते हैं। और तीसरा पार्ट है न्यायपालिका। न्यायपालिका की ताकत कौन है? पब्लिक। तीनों पूरे इंटायर नेशन जो डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम है उसकी ताकत है पब्लिक। अगर पब्लिक का विश्वास न्यायपालिका से हटेगा तो क्या होगा ये खुद आप अंदाज लगा लीजिए, पूरा देश कोलैप्स करके नीचे चला जाएगा। एक सामान्य कर्मचारी के घर पे 15 लाख रुपया मिलता है तो उसको जेल भेजते हैं। एक जज के घर पे 15 करोड़ रुपया कैश मिल रहा है, उसको घर वापसी का इनाम दिया जा रहा है। क्या हाईकोर्ट, इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट क्या डस्टबिन है, कचरा बिन है? करप्शन के खिलाफ हाईकोर्ट बार बिल्कुल स्ट्रांग फुटिंग पे खड़ा है। हम उसका स्वागत यहां नहीं होने देंगे। उनका ज्वाइनिंग अगर होती है, वी विल साइन बाय द हाईकोर्ट, लॉयर्स विल एब्सटेन फ्रॉम,
right? And they said that we won't let him into the court. So your brother Atul leveled allegations against Rita Kaushik. This is the judge, which Atul accused of asking for, I think, almost 5 lakhs in bribes to settle his case. So how many, in comparison to, like, this is the amount of lawyers that came to protest for Yashwant, and if they really believe that people's trust in the institution of justice is supposed to be protected, then why do you think they didn't come out to support in the same numbers against this judge Rita Kaushik? Why is she still allowed to continue? I guess the lawyers are also selective in what corruption they want to speak against versus what corruption they don't.
My question from the government of India, that why Anti-Corruption Bureau is not doing their own task because she is a judge, or because she is protected by a law, that is Judge Protection Act, or something else. Why they are not treated as a, like a human being, normal human being? Why they are above laws? These all are the questions that I want to ask with the government, that why there is a collegium system when it is not described by our Constitution of India. Why there is a collegium?
Don't you think it makes judiciary kind of like a dictator, given that they're immune from
Yes, my brother is also written in that note that if it is not being prevented now, then it will become a judicial dictatorship or judicial terrorism.
Okay, because I think this is my final question of the stream, and then I will let you go. How do you want your brother Atul to be remembered by the people?
The first thing, when the Atul get justice, and secondly, the sacrifice that he made for the brothers will not go in vain. And I personally hopeful that we will succeed. We will succeed in our vision, that we will fight against this gender biased laws. And I don't know at what time we will get that laws being changed, or we will get a new bill which is for men. I don't know about it, but uh, for men and for the society and the whole people of India, I just request to them that support men and the men's issues as well, because every time not only women they are suffering, men also suffered with lot of things. So just be surround them, help them, ask what are the thoughts that are going in their mind, and help them in whatever way that is possible to them.
Right.
That is the message I want to give to the people of India.
Thank you, because I wish you all the best. Because there's something I wanted to personally say to you. I know that after your brother has passed, you have taken all responsibility on your shoulders. I think your expectations are very realistic. I was a little worried about you. Like, sometimes it can feel like, you know, hey, like after my brother, I am trusted to deliver some responsibilities, and I have to succeed. If I fail, I will disappoint people, right? But I think after talking to you, I realized that you're realistic. You do know that a lot of rejection will come through your way. A lot of judiciary will go deaf. A lot of people in the parliament might not listen. A lot of society might not show up. While you want everybody or the society to change, you're also realistic about the fact that circumstances might not always favor you. So I think I was a little concerned about, how are you dealing with it emotionally and personally, and how long can you carry it? Because we have seen in the men's rights space that some people have really high expectations, right? For example, Earl Silverman, he's a guy who started a domestic violence shelter for men. He put his own money into it, and he tried to go as far as possible to ask the government to fund it. And when he didn't get the funding and he ran out of all of his money, he himself ended up deleting himself, right? So I just wanted you to know that at the end of the day, we're all humans, and you're human. And I know that you're fighting this big fight, and we are all going to be there with you. I hope more and more men join. And essentially, it's a revolution for all of us that we want to change the system. But at any given point, if you face any disappointments, I just want you to know that, in this space, all the successes are your successes, because, but any failures that happen, they are not yours. They're all of us, because we weren't there to support it as hard as it needed to be, right? And by we, I mean the society, the people, the men, the politicians, the judiciary, all branches of government. If all of us as a society didn't come forward to push it hard enough, right, that failure is on us. So, I think that's the last thing I personally wanted to say to you, is that anytime you feel fatigued or it's too much, I just want you to know you're only human. You can only do so much. And anytime you need support from our end, anything that we can do, please feel free to reach out. But this is all I have for you, and I'll be there as much as possible throughout your journey. And any updates that you come across, feel free to send them to me. I will let my audience know. Any last words before we close the stream?
Thank you for giving me this platform to share my views. That I want to tell you that through your platform, I shared approximately everything that I know about my brother and about my brother's journey. So from this video, you can realize yourself. You are as a family members. I'm talking to your members or audience. You can think about it that this is the sacrifice given by my brother for those men who are suffering from these kind of false cases. So listen his words again, and because the data is or the audio or the video is shared on a Rumble, so the data is not be deleted. He was so visionary that the data might be erased. So he uploaded that video in a Rumble as well, so that the data cannot be deleted from there. So I must tell you that never lose your hopes, and suicide is not the solution for every problem. So we just need to fight against these false cases and against this fraud system or the corrupt system, that whatever you want to say about this system. So we all need to come up. We need to be together. Together we can change the system. Together we can do anything what we want to do. So on this positive thoughts or positive views, I just end up this conversation with you.
Thank you for being on the podcast. It was a total pleasure. If you're still here, please go follow Bikas, and he will keep you posted on all the updates. If he's doing any events or protests, if you're around Delhi or anywhere else he's organizing that, you can join him. So his handle is Bikas_cute. But outside of that, Chad, thank you for being here. As always, it was a pleasure, and I will see you next weekend. Bye, chat.